They tell you a nation's power is measured in missiles and fighter jets, but that is a lie for children and politicians. True power is measured in concrete and steel, in the silent, relentless ladderwork of bridges, rails, ports, and wires that form the skeleton of a civilization. While America dreams of past glories and fights cultural phantoms, China has been engaged in the most monumental act of terrestrial engineering in human history, building not just for but for the next century. This is not a race we are losing. It is a race we have abandoned, choosing to dwell in a museum of our own former greatness while our rival constructs the future, beam by beam, mile by mile, before our very eyes. The contrast is not between two competing models, but between a nation obsessed with building and a nation content with decay. And this divergence will determine the fate of the coming age. Consider the Chinese landscape, a monument to directed will. They have built over 25,000 miles of high-speed rail in 15 years, a network that connects every major city with silent, efficient trains that glide at 217 miles per hour. They have constructed enough skyscrapers to rebuild Manhattan several times over. They have erected the 3 longest sea-crossing bridges in the world, marvels of engineering that stitch together megacities across vast estuaries. They have built entirely new cities from scratch, complete with advanced public transit, fiber optic grids, and smart city management systems in less time than it takes an American city to approve a new subway station. This is merely construction. It is a form of national ideology, a physical manifestation of the belief in progress, collective purpose, and the subjugation of geography to human ambition. Every port foundation is a statement. Every completed rail line is a ligament in the body of a new world power. Now, look upon the American landscape, a testament to neglected legacy. Our interstate highway system, the pride of the mid-20th century, is a crumbling labyrinth of potholes and rusting bridges, rated a D+ by the civil engineers who beg for repair funds. Our electrical grid is a patched-together antique, vulnerable to weather and cyber attack, a museum piece from the 1960s. All water systems are poisoning our children with lead and flint and beyond, their pipes rotting from the inside out. Our airports are overcrowded and dilapidated, compared to the soaring, efficient cathedrals of travel in Shanghai and Singapore. The average American spends 54 hours a year stuck in traffic, slow bleed of productivity and spirit, while our public transit is a joke, underfunded, and unreliable. We are not maintaining what we have. We are presiding over its managed decline, treating each collapse as an isolated crisis rather than a symptom of systemic surrender. The difference is not merely one of effort, but of fundamental philosophy. China operates on a model of long-term, state-directed capitalism, where the Communist Party can decree a project, marshal vast financial and human resources, and bypass the endless litigation and NIMBYism that paralyzes American democracy. Their horizon is 50 or 100 years. Ours is the next election cycle. Their system sees infrastructure as the bedrock of national power and economic sovereignty. Our system sees it as a cost center, a pork barrel project, or an environmental review nightmare. We have elevated the individual's right to sue to stop a project above the collective need to build for the future. We have financialized our economy to such a degree that building things, real physical things, is less profitable than trading derivatives on those things' eventual failure. We are a nation that has forgotten how to make, and worse, has forgotten why making matters. This divergence creates a terrifying strategic vulnerability. Infrastructure is the logistics of power. In a time of peace, it determines economic efficiency. In a time of crisis or conflict, it determines survival. China's Belt and Road Initiative is not charity. It is the externalization of this infrastructure philosophy, building ports, railways, and digital networks across Asia, Africa, and Europe, tying the developing world to. They are creating a world where the critical paths for trade, data, and resources run through Chinese-built and often Chinese-controlled channels. Meanwhile, America cannot even muster the will to dredge its own harbors to accommodate the new generation of container ships, ceding maritime supremacy by default. We are watching a new Silk Road being paved while our own roads collapse beneath us. The decay is also psychological and social. There is a profound demoralization that sets in when you live amidst crumbling monuments to your grandparents' ambition. The gleaming new airport, the smooth, fast train, the reliable electrical grid. These things signal a society that believes in tomorrow. The potholed street, the blackout, the weed in the water, the endless traffic jam, these signal a society that has given up, that is living off the capital of a past it can no longer replicate. This environment breeds cynicism, distrust, and a retreat into private life. Why believe in a collective future when the collective present is one of neglect and dysfunction? China, for all its political oppression, sells its people a narrative of relentless, visible progress. America sells its people a narrative of managed decline and cultural recrimination. One builds morale, the other destroys it. The economic consequences are already upon us. Our inability to build efficiently makes every project astronomically expensive and slow, driving away investment and stifling productivity. A mile of subway in New York City costs over $2 billion, a figure so absurd it signals institutional failure. In China, it costs a fraction of that. This cost disease means we do less and less with more and more. Path to national impoverishment. Our supply chains are brittle, dependent on ports and roads that are constantly congested and vulnerable. We have offshored not just our manufacturing, but our competence, our engineering prowess, and our belief in the dignity of large-scale collective work. We are a service economy trying to maintain a superpower's infrastructure on a budget of neglect and bureaucratic hostility. The final, grim reality is that this gap is now unbridgeable within the current American system. We cannot catch up. The scale of China's build-out is so vast, and the pace so relentless, that for America to even attempt to match it would require a political and social revolution we are incapable of mustering. It would require a suspension of environmental review laws, a neutering of litigation, a massive reallocation of capital from financial speculation to public works, and a collective generational commitment to a national purpose that we have not possessed since the 1960s. It would require us to become, in essence, a different country, one that values the future over the present, the collective over the individual grievance, and concrete achievement over symbolic politics. That is not who we are anymore. So we are left with a stark and unsettling fate. We will inhabit the ruins of our grandparents' dreams, while our strategic rival inhabits the gleaming artifacts of its own ambition. Our power will continue to ebb, not lost war, but because of a lost capacity to maintain the physical world we depend on. The New World Order will not be dictated at a treaty signing. It will be encoded in the rail gauges, the port depths, and the fiber optic cables that form the circulatory system of the 21st century. And that system is being built with astonishing speed and singular purpose by a rival who plays a long game for which we have lost the rulebook. We chose culture wars over concrete, financialization over foundations, and short-term profits over long-term power. The bill for that choice is now due, and it is payable in the crumbling asphalt beneath our feet, the flickering lights above our heads, and the silent, incontestable fact that while we were arguing about the past, our future was being built in a day